Right now, you're engaged in a silent act of self-sabotage. As you watch this, there are routines running in the background, quiet, rhythmic, almost invisible, that are draining the vitality from your face and the authority from your presence. This is the invisible tax of the unexamined life. If the damage were sudden or dramatic, you would treat it as an emergency. But because the decay happens in millimeters and microseconds, you simply accept it as the inevitable weight of getting older or having a busy schedule. The Stoics understood what modern science is only now proving: your physical form is the final destination of your mental state. When Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, he wasn't being poetic. He was providing a clinical diagnosis of the human condition. Your thoughts shape your nervous system dictates your posture and breath, and your breath eventually settles into the very lines of your face. Your appearance is the physical ledger of how you have chosen to live. In the moments that follow, I will expose 10 silent habits that are currently destroying your magnetism before you even speak. For each, I will provide a Stoic intervention, practical, rigorous, and intentionally uncomfortable. But we must start with a pact. You must be willing to confront your reflection without the usual armor of excuses. We are moving beyond surface-level vanity and into the realm of self-mastery. What I am about to show you will feel personal, because it is. This is about reclaiming the hegemonic, your inner ruler, and ensuring that your external presence reflects your internal sovereignty. Your posture is aging you, but not in the way a fitness coach might describe. It is the silent architecture of your presence. Right now, as you listen, audit your frame. Are your shoulders caving inward as if trying to shield your heart? Is your neck jutting toward the screen, creating a tech neck that disrupts the natural alignment of your spine? When you collapse your body, you are broadcasting a message of defeat to your own nervous system. This physical shrinking compresses your lungs, forcing you into shallow, panicked chest breathing. This reduces oxygen flow to your skin, making your eyes look sunken and your jawline appear soft. Even with perfect features, a slumped frame makes you look like a person who has already surrendered to the world's weight. The Stoics practiced prososche, a state of continuous vigilant attention. It is the opposite of mindfulness as a relaxation technique. It is attention as a combat discipline. To fix your presence, you must stop being an accidental passenger in your own body. Set 5 reminders on your phone today. When they chime, do not merely straighten up. Instead, perform a Stoic realignment. Pull your shoulders back to open the chest level, your chin with the horizon, and release the tension in your jaw. By expanding your physical footprint, you signal to your subconscious that you are the master of your environment. Within days, you will notice that people interrupt you less and listen longer. They aren't responding to your words. They are responding to the person who finally looks like they belong in their own skin. Your sleep debt is painting a mask of exhaustion onto your features. You recognize the immediate symptoms: the dark crescents under the eyes, the sallow skin, and the heavy, lifeless lids. But the Stoic perspective goes deeper. Seneca famously argued that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We waste our vitality by treating rest as a luxury rather than a non-negotiable restoration of our human fortress. When you cut sleep short, you are forcing your body to function in a state of chronic inflammation. Your skin cannot synthesize collagen, your brain cannot flush metabolic waste, and your face becomes a billboard for your lack of self-discipline. The Stoic fix is the digital sunset. 30 minutes before bed, all screens must be extinguished. This isn't just a health tip. It is an act of sovereignty. Your brain cannot distinguish between a smartphone and the midday sun. Replace the scroll with a single page of journaling or 5 minutes of rhythmic breathing. Commit to 7 hours of deep, uninterrupted stillness. Take a photograph of your face tomorrow morning, then honor this discipline for 7 consecutive nights. On the 8th day, compare the images. You won't just see a reduction in puffiness. You will see a face that has reclaimed its clarity because you stopped treating your body like a disposable tool. Complaining is a sculptor of grief that carves permanent lines into your features. Most people view complaining as a harmless vent, a way to release steam. In reality, it is a physical rehearsal of misery. When you complain, you aren't just expressing a thought. You're training your face to hold a shape. You knit your brow, tighten your lips, and clench your masseter muscles. Do this 50 times a day for a decade, and those temporary expressions become permanent structural changes. The 11 lines between your eyes and the downward set of your mouth are not just signs of age, they are the physical fossils of your past judgments. Epictetus taught that it is not things themselves that disturb men, but their judgments about these things. Your face is the record of those judgments. If you live in a state of constant mental friction, your face will look like a battlefield. The Stoic fix is the dichotomy of control. When you feel a complaint rising, pause and categorize the event. Is this within my control? If it is not, like the weather or the traffic, acceptance is your only rational path. If it is, action is your only duty. By refusing to give mental space to the uncontrollable, you release the physical tension associated with it. Within 2 weeks of this mental discipline, your brow will smoothen and your jaw will relax. You won't just feel lighter. You will look like someone who has found peace in a chaotic world. The way you consume food is a direct revelation of your level of self-mastery. This isn't about the vanity of a perfect physique or the strict restriction of calories. It is about the fundamental question of who is in charge. Are you the master of your appetite, or is your appetite the master of you? When you eat out of boredom, stress, or a subconscious need to numb your emotions, you're practicing a form of internal chaos. This lack of control eventually leaks through your skin. It shows in the dullness of your eyes, the sluggishness of your movements, and a general aura of unrestedness. The Stoics called the virtue of self-regulation sophrosyne. Marcus Aurelius frequently questioned whether he was a servant to his impulses or the ruler of his own soul. Every time you overindulge or eat unconsciously, you are reinforcing a self-image of powerlessness. To reclaim your presence, practice 1 meal a day of absolute attention. No phone, no television, no distractions. Chew slowly and stop when you are satisfied, not when you are stuffed. This small act of temperance builds the muscle of self-command. As you master your plate, you will find you carry yourself with a newfound weight and dignity that others can sense immediately. Your relationship with social media is training a comparison mask onto your face. When you scroll through the curated highlights of others, you aren't just observing, you are unconsciously reacting. Watch your reflection during a 20-minute scroll session. Your brow tightens. Your jaw clenches in subtle envy, and your eyes narrow as you measure your unedited life against someone else's digital performance. This creates a chronic micro-expression of dissatisfaction. Even when you are in a beautiful environment, you look like someone who is searching for something better, someone who is fundamentally absent. The Stoics urged us to live according to nature, not according to the illusions of the marketplace. When you are tethered to the feed, you are living in a state of high cortisol comparison that ages your features prematurely. The fix is a daily digital fast. 1 hour every day your phone is not just silent, it is in another room. Use this hour to engage with reality. Look at the horizon, read a physical book, or speak to a human being without the filter of a screen. You will notice your face begins to soften and your eyes regain their natural light. You stop looking like a consumer and start looking like a creator. Your body language and your anxious micro-movements are quietly broadcasting a lack of internal authority. Posture is the frame, but body language is the signal. If you find yourself avoiding eye contact, shrinking your gestures, or fidgeting, biting your nails, tapping your foot, or repeatedly touching your face, you are leaking power. These movements are not just nervous habits, they are physical manifestations of an undisciplined mind. They tell the world, and more importantly, they tell you that you do not trust yourself. Epictetus taught that true freedom is the mastery of one's own impulses. When you fidget, you're a slave to your own nervous energy. The Stoic solution is the cultivation of stillness. For the next 3 days, practice deliberate movement. If you need to gesture, do it slowly and with purpose. If you are listening, stand like a statue. Shoulders down, hands calm, feet planted. When you catch an anxious micro-movement, do not judge it. Simply interrupt it with a single deep breath and return to a neutral, powerful position. By mastering the small movements of your hands and eyes, you signal to the world that the inner ruler is back on the throne. You are living in a state of biological debt, and your body is showing the receipts through dehydration, shallow breathing, and a lack of sunlight. Most people treat these as health tips, but the Stoic views them as essential maintenance for a clear mind. Dehydration makes your skin look like parchment, and your eyes look like glass. Shallow chest breathing keeps your nervous system in a fight-or-flight loop, which tightens your facial muscles into a permanent grimace of stress. A lack of sunlight leaves your expression dim, lacking the vital color that comes from being aligned with the natural world. The discipline is simple but relentless. 3 liters of water a day every day without negotiation. 3 times a day perform 10 deep diaphragmatic breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling longer than the inhale. This manual override of your nervous system drops your jaw and relaxes your brow instantly. Finally, spend 20 minutes in direct sunlight. This is not about a tan. It is about resetting your circadian rhythm and reclaiming the grayness from your expression. You are a biological entity governed by natural laws. Ignore them and your appearance will reflect your neglect. I am not speaking from the heights of perfection, but from the depths of experience. There was a time when I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the man staring back. I saw a face that was dull eyes that were perpetually tired and a posture that screamed defeat. I was sleeping 4 hours, complaining about my bad luck and eating to numb my stress. I lost an opportunity because someone told me, "You look like you've already given up." That pain was my wake-up call. I turned to the Stoics and realized that my life was becoming my face. I ran an experiment for 30 days, and it changed everything. I want you to follow this blueprint of the sovereign. During the first week, focus exclusively on awareness. Set your posture alarms and hit your 7-hour sleep minimum. During the second week, transition to replacement. Trade 1 complaint per day for a neutral action and practice 1 mindful meal. During the third week, move into integration, adding 3 liters of water and 10 deep breaths 3 times daily. By the final week, you reach mastery, where these actions are no longer habits you perform, but a reflection of who you have become. Document the changes. Compare your day 1 photo with your day 30 photo. The evidence will be undeniable. Let us recap the 10 silent habits: collapsed posture, sleep, debt, chronic complaining, impulsive eating, digital tension, weak body language, anxious, fidgeting, dehydration, shallow breathing, and the lack of natural light. These are the thieves of your present. But remember, this isn't truly about looking better. It is about self-respect. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that we have power over our minds, not external events. You cannot control your genetics or the passage of time, but you have absolute jurisdiction over these 10 habits. Knowledge without action is merely entertainment, and you didn't watch this to be entertained. You watch this because you know you are capable of carrying more weight, more presence, and more clarity. So here is your command. Step 1, like this video to signal your intent. Step 2, comment day 1 below as your public oath. Step 3, pick the one habit that hit you the hardest and fix it right now. Next week, I will reveal 7 Stoic morning practices used by history's most powerful figures to win the day before it even begins. Until then, remember, Stoicism is not about perfection. It is about relentless progress. Start now. Comment day 1. I will see you in the next video.